Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and my son is going to have his first ever high school baseball game today. And we had, any of you have been listening to me for a while, you know that I have been working a plan for a long time. Since he was 7 years old, this child has hit 2 buckets of baseballs 3 times a week, year round. We've never stopped, and I told him I wanted to teach him how to be the best at something. And so I'm hoping that he is in the process of achieving that goal. I told him by the time you're on that high school field, every field you ever walk on to, our goal is for you to be able to say to yourself, you have hit more baseballs than everybody out here combined. And I think he can say that right now. So it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. And by the way, it is now time, Mike Jansen, if you're out there listening, it is now time for us to put together or begin to put together a highlight reel for this kid for colleges. And so this is something I'm going to begin working on, and I think Mike might be the guy to help me do it. For those of you that don't know who Mike Jansen is, Mike Jansen is the announcer for the Indianapolis Colts. I should have pulled his thing up, but he is also, he's one of the first people that ever reached out to me. And he literally reached out to me, and when I had like under 100 subscribers, and he said, I think that your channel is going to get big. And he did. Then he later, just to be nice, because he knew how technologically inept I was, he did an intro and then later did an outro for me. And every time you see me update that I've got X million viewers on the channel at the outro, that's Mike Jansen updating it for me. In fact, right now it shows 32 million, but I'm actually into over 33 million, and I've been too lazy to add the outro that he gave me. I've got to go get that thing and put it in at the end. But anyway, so it's time for the highlight reel. Enough of that. Okay. I found this interesting fact this morning. Apple Computer was incorporated on 1/3/1977. Bitcoin shares its birthday. Satoshi Nakamoto mined the starting block of the chain, known as the Genesis block, on 1/3/2009. That's when Bitcoin was officially born. I just thought that was an interesting stat. Okay, moving along. And by the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a digital asset that I've started to buy. That's just another, I own several, but I've started to buy this one. I'm going to show you why at the end of this video. You'll find it interesting. I think that it's got a future. Okay, we are at $1.6 trillion in this market, and XRP is up over 5% today. It's been doing, things have been moving, but I did this tweet this morning, $1.6 trillion, trillions to go. Somebody added the Robert Frost poem. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. I remember having to memorize that poem when I was in elementary school, I think. Okay, CS May 144K sent me this. Okay, this is CZ Binance, the CEO of Binance, who is talking about Bitcoin and Elon Musk. Listen.
I'm surprised that Elon's so gung-ho on Dogecoin, but I think, look, this is the free, decentralized free world, right? Anybody can like anything. He can like Dogecoin for any reason he likes. And I strongly believe that he's not really associated with Dogecoin in any way. Dogecoin is one of those that's one of those coins that started as a joke, but it's getting a lot of popularity over time, just for various reasons that nobody expected. So I think Elon really likes it, but the fact though is that Tesla, I think, bought Bitcoin, not Dogecoin. Mm-hmm. So I think Elon probably likes it a lot personally. And we listed it a long time ago, and we added futures recently, just because of the new demand on liquidity. So we do where users go.
Okay, so he's saying Dogecoin is a joke and ha ha ha. What he's not saying to you is that Dogecoin is a fork, ultimately, of Bitcoin. Okay? Let me see how this goes. I'm trying to remember. a fork of some coin that started with an L, which was a fork of Litecoin, which was a fork of Bitcoin. Okay, so pay attention to what Elon says and how he responds. Tesla's action is not directly reflective of my opinion. Having some Bitcoin, which is simply a less dumb form of liquidity than cash, is adventurous enough for an S&P 500 company. To be clear, I'm not an investor. I'm an engineer. I don't even own any publicly traded stock besides Tesla. However, when fiat currency has negative real interest rates, only a fool wouldn't look elsewhere. Bitcoin is almost as BS as fiat money. The key word is almost. This guy says, why is Bitcoin BS at all? Too orange? Somehow a hash text file using ancient crypto can be exchanged for real goods and services. Amazing. I'm telling you, this guy is literally making fun of Bitcoin is the way I read this. I think that he's telling you, and I even retweeted this. I said, he's telling you the truth. Will you listen is the question. And this is so true, folks. I'm telling you, Elon Musk is no dummy. He knows what Bitcoin is and what it is not. And we have to be honest with ourselves, and I will continue to be honest with you about this. I own some Bitcoin for the more or less for hedge reasons, but Bitcoin is a dinosaur technology now, and everybody knows it. Everybody that pushes it, everybody knows it, okay? Elon Musk knows that it's never going to be for payments or anything like that. It's too slow. Bitcoin will be a store of value only if it's allowed to continue to be a store of value by the government. I believe it probably will be. That's why I own a little bit, okay? Now, Free American Spirit sent me this. Here's the MasterCard CEO. He's being diplomatic, but he's also telling you the truth. And will you listen is the question again. They're telling you it's not Bitcoin. Store of value, okay. But this guy in this clip is literally telling you, okay, yeah, take your Bitcoin, but when you're ready to move it around, you can put it in our network. When you're ready to take that wealth from the store of value, or more or less is what he's saying. Listen.
Your news about being more accepting of cryptocurrencies sometime later this year helped to send Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin, up. We just spoke with Nouriel Roubini, well-known economist, who says it is pure speculative, self-fulfilling bubble. This is a pure speculative, self-fulfilling bubble. It doesn't have any income. What is your reaction to that, given what you just had to say about stability?
Yeah, Emily, my view is, I look at this question through the lens of a payment technology company. As I just laid out, it really doesn't bring much utility from a payment perspective because of the fluctuations. From an investment and asset perspective, we're not an asset manager. I mean, that is people taking risk, and they're looking at this as any other asset class, and that is something that we really don't take much of a view on. I think it's important for us to say if people have invested and they want to transfer that into a network to buy something, buy a house.
If you have invested and then you want to transfer that into a network that actually works for payments, is what he just said.
That we enable that, because in the end, we enable choice in payments. We don't really stand for cards. It could be real-time payments, it could be crypto, it could be anything for that matter. So that's our approach to this.
The writing's on the wall, folks. You can either choose to ignore it and just keep on doing what the big Bitcoin maxis do and Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, and it's all going to change the world. You can either ignore it, or you can maybe buy some as a little bit of a hedge, the way I've done, and then you focus on what's really important, and that is the digital assets that are going to have utility. Period. That is what we're talking about. Okay, now moving along. Yesterday, the SEC filed a first amended complaint against Chris Larson, Brad Garlinghouse, and this was Stuart Alderati, Ripple's general counsel. As many of you have seen, the SEC filed an amended complaint today. The only legal claim remains: did certain distributions of XRP constitute an investment contract? Disappointing, the SEC needed to try to fix their complaint by waiting years to bring it in the first place. Okay, so now this guy Jeremy Hogan is at it again. He's doing a great job. Wanted to play you this clip because I don't even begin to try to do what a lawyer can do. This guy is an attorney, And so he kind of gives a good, there's a good 3-minute summary of what the amendment was about, and then what kind of he thinks the 3 scenarios as a result are. Okay, here we go.
Anyway, so what happened was that the SEC did not do a good job of alleging in the original complaint that the individual defendants had the legal scienter to be sued. So, for example, the SEC added to the amended complaint paragraph 110, which says, quote, Larson and Garlinghouse both played significant roles in negotiating and approving Ripple's institutional sales and other offers and sales of XRP to institutional investors, close quote. So that is a new allegation that is pretty typical of the new complaint. This amended complaint was kind of heralded by the letter to the judge last week, where the parties told the judge what contemplated motions were out there. That's in, I think, subparagraph 2 of the letter. In short, what happened was that the lawyers for Garlinghouse and Larson told the SEC that they were going to file motions to dismiss the lawsuit against them. And the SEC said, well, okay, then if you're going to file a motion to dismiss, we're going to go ahead and amend the lawsuit in order to try to avoid your motion to dismiss. And therefore, they got the amended complaint done, and they put in a lot more facts showing how Garlinghouse and Larson were personally involved. I still think there will be a motion to dismiss, but I think the individuals will probably lose those motions because I think there's enough facts now in the lawsuit to keep them in the litigation. And that's bad for Ripple because Garlinghouse and Larson are obviously high up in Ripple and will decide what Ripple does. And until you've been sued by the federal government, you have no idea how stressful it is. I mean, it's the kind of stress that leads to sleepless nights, tears. You can't concentrate. You can't enjoy time with your kids. It's horrible to be on the end of this kind of lawsuit. And it's going to affect what Ripple does because Brad and Chris are obviously high up in the Ripple hierarchy. So we hope they get out, but I don't think they will. I think the SEC has kind of locked them in now. But I wanted to do some quick conjecture about why they were sued to begin with when no other individuals have ever been sued by the SEC in a crypto lawsuit. This is the interesting stuff for me. I think there are 3 possibilities here. First, the obvious answer is because they kept such a large amount of XRP for themselves that the SEC wants to kind of recoup or disgorge those large amounts of profits. The second possibility is that the SEC wanted to put that stress on Brad and Chris to help the case against Ripple. Now, this is common in federal criminal prosecutions where you'll see that they go after your friends or your family in order to put pressure on you. Or maybe possibility 3, which is the most subtle, is that the SEC is devising an escape from this lawsuit for itself, one in which it can punish the owners, founders of the company, and let the company itself off the hook. Now, I wouldn't have thought this except for how long the SEC let this case go before filing the lawsuit. In this situation where you've let it go on for 8 or 9 years before filing a lawsuit, it might be the most equitable resolution to punish the owners in the pocketbook while allowing the company itself to settle out and continue business. It makes sense to me, enforcing the law as to wrongdoers while not punishing individuals who bought the coins. Option 3 is the closest to a win-win for the SEC that it can get if it truly wants to enforce the law and protect purchasers of XRP, and it can't do it if it hadn't sued Garlinghouse and Larson.
Okay, so I thought that was a pretty good summary. And by the way, give this guy a subscribe. It's Legal Briefs. Give him a subscribe here. The guy is really sharp, and he's got a good personality too. At the beginning of that clip, he was joking around about how I will not advertise, and then he holds up a Corona and starts talking about the Corona beer, which that makes me want a Corona with a lime. I hadn't had one of those in a long time. Okay, moving along. Gene Simmons is at it again. Gene Simmons, I just bought $300,000 of Cardano. I'm not a financial analyst, and I'm not telling you to buy or not to buy, simply letting you know what I'm doing and what I believe in. Why? Because I believe it's going up, and it's always up to you to research and decide. I don't know if he bought the Cardano at a good price. Who knows? But I do think Cardano is a good project, and I do think it's going places. Okay, and I do think that it's great that Gene Simmons is here, because what this tells you, when Gene Simmons is at this party, it tells you he's the smartest marketing genius in the history of rock and roll, in my opinion. And when he's here, and when you've got the other guy, freaking Captain Kirk, what's his freaking name? I'm drawing a blank on his name. But when you've got these guys that are marketing machines here, it tells me that it's time. Okay, moving along, Michael at VAL5 links, debut Canadian Bitcoin ETF nears $100 million in volume in the first few hours of trading. That's good for everything too. Riz XRP sent me this. I wanted to play you this short clip. This is from CNBC. They're really beginning to sell it. Interest in cryptocurrencies may be surging, but central banks don't want to be left behind by financial innovation. In fact, more than 80% are examining how to launch their own. She takes a look at why these institutions may change how they think about money. I just wanted to show you this really quick clip.
Revolutionary concept, a form of money you cannot see. Central bank digital currencies.
When you ask central banks around the world whether they are exploring CBDC, 1 year ago the answer was 80% of them were exploring, and now it's nearly 90%. Last year, 40% were experimenting, and now it's 60%. The vast majority of central banks are exploring CBDC.
The idea of digital money.
Okay, now I wanted to show you the digital currency that I have started to buy on Coinbase for a couple of reasons. First, I wanted to mention, I'm buying. The buying I am doing is mostly on Coinbase right now, and here's the reason. Coinbase is about to go public. They were valued at $75 billion the other day. They're about to go public. Now, when I buy XRP, the only place I can buy it is on Uphold. I love Uphold. I like Uphold better than Coinbase. Don't get me wrong. I'm not some huge Coinbase fan. Okay? I think that I don't like a lot of what they've done. I'm with you all on that. But this is about investments and making money. And here's what I believe. I believe that you're about to see, when you see Coinbase go public, you're going to see so much press that goes along with that you're going to see a lot of account opening on Coinbase as a result. And what are they going to do? They're going to open accounts, and then they're going to buy digital assets on that platform. So what I'm buying right now, the one I'm focused on the most right now on Coinbase, is Algorand. Algorand, you've probably heard a lot about it. The reason that I like Algorand, there's several, but Algorand is not just some digital asset. It has smart contracts. Also, this Algorand standard assets, that they can issue assets on the Algorand blockchain, atomic transfers. You can go, and they've got videos on here where you can watch them about it. But I'm just giving you the brief of the why. They've got legit investors. They've raised, I think it's well over $200 million in venture capital. I'm putting my money alongside really smart people in venture capital is the way I look at this. And then this, Securitize, okay, this is an article from back, let me see if it tells when it was. I don't see a date, but anyway, it was in the last year sometime. Securitize announces partnership. Now, remember, Ripple is an investor in Securitize. Announces partnership with Algorand to support Securitize's DS protocol. Issuers will now be able to issue Securitize-powered digital assets on the Algorand blockchain. So it says Securitize, a platform delivered trusted global solutions. It says has partnered with Algorand to support Securitize's DS protocol on the recently launched Algorand blockchain. This platform, DS protocol, will now support Algorand, giving issuers using Securitize an additional high-performance platform option for issuing, trading, and performing corporate actions using digital securities. Algorand uses a pure proof-of-stake protocol, delivering decentralization, scalability, and security, making it ideally suited for issuing and managing digital securities. So you see where this is going? This Algorand is one of the platforms. These are the platforms you need to focus on. These platforms that are going to have smart contract capabilities and that can issue stable coins or tokenized securities or tokenized anything. These are the platforms that have the real future. Well, on top of that, on Coinbase, first of all, you can get Algorand right now for about $1.41. Now, not just on Coinbase, but in the ledger. If you've got your Algorand on a ledger now at Nano S, you can get paid. They've got staking rewards. You can earn passive income by participating in the Algorand network. All addresses that contain one algo or more will receive rewards. The current annual yield on Algorand is around 5 to 6%. It's around 6% right now on Coinbase if you have it on there as well. This is interesting stuff. I'm excited about this one. I think Algorand pays more than anything else that's staked on Coinbase right now. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that Algorand is one of the digital assets that I invest in. I'm not telling you to invest in it because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I do. Thank you for listening.